Hello everyone. Okay, so Sunday night, 7 p.m. That was my last video. I was just pulled up at the hospital, at the lab to get my blood drawn, and they did not need a urine sample, so this was just a blood draw. I believe it was 3 or 4 vials, and so it's Monday night, and I now have the results, and it resulted in a couple of minor medication changes. And so I'll look at the results here. I'm logged in, test results, and let me turn the camera around so you can see what and I don't have a problem sharing this, and I think it's good information. So here's my individual results, and I don't know how well you can see the screen, but I'll describe it there. So you see this test here. This is the CBC with, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, zoom out. Nope. Okay, the CBC with differential, and this one is abnormal. So I had told you it was 4 vials because there's 4 exams. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And you look here, March 1st. And so out of 4, 2 are normal, 2 are abnormal. And that's usually the case. And if you scroll down to my history here, you see it's about 50-50. Half are normal, half are abnormal. And that's kind of how it's been for me. So we'll go back to the top and we'll begin with the first one. Complete blood count, CBC, with differential abnormal. Click here. And so you look at my results. So you have the first one here. You have the white blood count. I'm in perfect range here. And these 3 here are always have always been an issue with me. So the RBC red blood count, you see how I'm just below range? That's pretty much where I always stay. And my hematocrit, see, I'm below range. The green is the range, so I'm below it, and all that results in a low hemoglobin. So this is the normal range, 13.5, or 14 to 18 is a normal range for a man. I believe it's a little lower for a lady. I am at 10.2, and that's considered anemic, but not terribly anemic. I don't need medication, and these 3 right here, probably the most direct cause of just general fatigue, and so we'll go down. Now, I don't know the meaning of all these acronyms. See MCV. So it's very easy to comprehend lab report. If I wanted to look this up, MCV. So let's just go here. Let's see, MCV blood test. There we go, it came up. So MCV blood test. And then see right there, then I can just read. So the MCV blood test measures the average size of your red blood cells. Okay, helping diagnose types of anemia and other blood-related conditions. So, so that's below range right there. And then my MCH, see, that's a little bit low. Then MCHC, that's a little low. And RDW, standard deviation, perfect range right there, 41.9. And see, RDW, that's in range. Platelet count, I'm familiar with that word right there, perfect range. And then MPV, well, okay, perfect range. And so that's in range. The lymphocyte, absolute count a little bit low, and a couple of other things here. So that's the CBC, complete blood count. So I'm going to go back to test results. Now my magnesium, I do a pretty good job keeping that in range. It's on the low side. So the good range is 1.9 through 2.8. I'm at 2, so that's okay. And click back, and now my renal function right here, abnormal. I'm always abnormal, never So click on that. So my sodium has been low right here, the top one, and so not dangerously low. I was down to 120, so the range is 137 through 146, and that's just a result of having me drink so much water. So I need to, right now I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of salt water in the morning. I'll probably start doing that as well in the evening and try to get myself up in range. And then my potassium, this is the big one for me. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was at just under 5. I was at 4.8, but look at this spike here. I went from 4.8 to 5.6. And so this medication here, this sodium polystyrene sulfonate, I'm going to double up on this, and as per their orders. I was taking, this is a powder. I was mixing 4 teaspoons with a cup of water and some lemon juice for the taste. And so I'm going to start doing that in the evenings as well. So I was doing it once, I'm going to start doing it twice a day. And that should get this number up, did this number down rather, and within range. And so my chloride, I'm barely in range, 102, CO2, just right in the minimum range, 19. And so I'm not sure what anion gap is, but I've never had an issue. And this is the big one I'm familiar with, BUN, blood urea nitrogen. Now this is the lowest I have been, 46. And so the healthy level, and let's see if I get the camera back to avoid the blurriness. But the healthy range is from 8 to 20. And so here I can click on the trends, and so this is where, see, I've never been in the healthy range here. And you see kind of like pretty consistent. And see this one here, what was it? Yeah, February 1st, I was 72. February 14th, 47. And then March 1st, 46. So been consistent the past month. And let's go back. Okay, so potassium, anion gap, okay, blood. Now my creatinine, this one right here. This I've never, I'm trying to reduce my meat by eating more vegetables and fruit and red meat particularly, and trying to reduce that. See, the normal range is 0.77 through 1.35, and I'm at 2.13. So I'm going to click here to view the trends. And you see where I'm at. I've never, the green is the normal, and I've just never been able to get it low. And so this one here represents November 23rd last year. Let's see. Okay, so this is January 2nd of this year. Let's see if I can get that up a little bit. Okay. I was 2.05 January 2nd. And I'm going to come here. The highest I've been is 2.52. That was January 22nd of this year. And so it's kind of going down. And this was 2 weeks ago, February 14th, I was below 2, 1.98. And then March 1st, 2.13, high. And so I've never been able to. Now, it could be because I exercise quite a bit, almost every single day. And I read that doing so can contribute to high creatinine. So let me go back to click on return to test result details. Okay, so go down here, BUN creatinine. My albumin, now this has always been in perfect range, give or take 1. I'm at 4.3. Acceptable range is 3.5 through 5.2. So I'm right here dead center. Albumin, I've learned, is what fights off infection. So you want to have good albumin, and my calcium level has always been in range, kind of on the high side of the good range. See, I'm at 10.1 right here, so the cutoff is 10.4, but I'm consistently at 10.1. Let's click on the trends, and so see the green here. I've always been in range. One time, I exceeded my range. In fact, that was January 8th of this year. I was at 10.5 milligrams per deciliter. And so, so I was at, see, February 1st, 9.7, February 14th, 9.9, and kind of on an upward trend there. So maybe I can get that down. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. So let's scroll down. We've done the calcium level. Now my phosphorus. Now last time it was, I think it was 1.9. I'm at like perfect in the middle. And let's look at the trends. I think last time I was below the range. Yep, right there. So February 14th. Look how it kind of like yo-yos here. So February 1st, I was at 3.4 milligrams per deciliter. And then I don't know what happened. Just dropped. 2 weeks later, 1.9. Then 2 weeks later, March 1st, yesterday, 3.5 milligrams per deciliter. So I don't know what I'm doing there. I have no idea. And let's see. So let's go back down. Okay, so glucose. This is the lowest my glucose has been. That's an almost perfect range. So the healthy range is 65 through 99 milligrams per deciliter. And so let's look at the trends there. And so, see, this is the, look at this. See how this is almost, see, let's go right here. So this is January 22nd, January 12th, January 8th, January 2nd of this year. So I've been getting better at it. My body's been doing better. I don't take in much sugar. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. So January 2nd this year, I was at 154 milligrams per deciliter. And so I had this downward trend. And then, so here we are, January 22nd, 95. That's on the high side of the good side, but okay. And so here we are, February 1st, 98. And then 2 weeks ago, just over the range, not too, but not bad, 101. But yesterday, 86, so not bad. And so let's scroll back down. Okay, so we just did the glucose, and the important number, here it is, my EGFR, it's 37, and that is described as low. So we're going to look at the trends here. Let me click on this. And so here we are. So we have 30, 35, 40, 45. And let's see. So let's go here. We'll just start at the beginning of the year. So January 2nd, I was at 39. And then I just kind of been dipping. January 8th, 35, and 32. So this is stage 3B. So that's January 12th. Now, January 22nd, that's stage 3B. And 29 would be stage 4. And then, so then 31 went up a little bit. That's February 1st. Then look, from February 1st, I don't know what happened. Didn't do anything different, I don't believe. And so February 1st, 31. Then February 14th, look, it jumped 9. So to 40, my EGFR. And then now March 1st, 37. So it dropped down a little bit. So a kind of little bit of a U here. And I feel like I'm looking at a stock, but yeah, see, so here's a good economy, and then see, war breaks out right there, and then boom, goes down. We got some peace going, some stability, and we go up. Uh-oh, someone got upset, and kind of like that. So, and so sorry to talk about war. I don't mean to upset anyone with current conditions. And so let's go back to test results. And so, and now this one, the fourth one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, tacrolimus level. This is a bit, my value is 4.6. And so I was taking 1 milligram of tacrolimus in 8 a.m. and 1 at 8 p.m. tacrolimus is the main immunosuppressant drug. So on my list here, it is at the top. And so you see, I was taking 1 milligram 8 a.m., 8 p.m. So now they want me to add, at 8 a.m., add 0.5 milligrams. And this 4.6, they want to see that get up to about 5. So that's not terribly low, it's just slightly low. So we're just adding a little bit. And so let's go back to test results. And when I get my results, they come back, they upload it here on this patient portal the next day, and it's pretty neat, pretty easy to navigate. And so it has all my information there. And let me go ahead and close out of this and log out. And that's it, my chart. And I would imagine every hospital by now has this. And so let's close out. But yeah, that's it right there. And I hope you found it educational. But it's very important to go to the hospital and get those labs drawn, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly. Show up. Don't wait until you feel bad, until you feel sick to show up to the hospital. And now, as a result of this lab test, I have to go back Thursday night, 7 p.m. They want me to have another lab test done. And so they want to see if the additional tacrolimus is adequate. And so then several days of me taking this in the morning and at night to see if that can get my potassium lowered, which I know it will. And so, but like I said, it's very important and to go. And so, so there was a time I was going weekly, and so now it's bi-weekly. And so, but like I said, when I got the call today from the doctor, she said, "Hey, adjust your medication. I want you here Thursday at 7 p.m. for another blood draw," and I'll be there, Johnny on the spot. And that's how you stay on top of things. And last summer, I was my blood test caught a trace of the BK virus. Let me look that up. And BK virus. Let's see, what is that? BKV. Oh, okay, BK virus. What is that? BK virus is a common virus that usually remains dormant in healthy individuals but can reactivate in immunocompromised patients, particularly those who have undergone kidney transplants. So that's what I had last summer, but it was just a minor amount, and it was caught early, and they prescribed the medication, and it went away. And that right there is a perfect example of showing up, getting your labs done, and don't wait until you just feel really bad. And so, but yeah, that's it. And so I go back, like I said, Thursday at 7, and we'll see what happens. And I expect everything to be fine, and well, as fine as it can be, and just just go from there. So, all right, until next time, you take care and do all the things you can do and to be healthy and get yourself in position to get a kidney. And when you do get a kidney, life afterwards, it's not that bad, and um, you'll be fine. Oh, and I saw a news report. They 3D printed or something, or grew something, a kidney in a lab. That was crazy. Let me see if I can kidney grown in lab. Let's see. if I can find it. It was someone posted it on X, and obviously it's far away or nowhere. Tomorrow, kidney grown in lab. Let's see, X article. It was on X. Let's see if it comes up. Okay. I wanted to show you a picture of it. Basically, it's a kidney, but it's crystal clear. And I remember when I was in the surgery room getting my kidney transplant, um, it was in this kind of like nuclear bomb looking ice chest. And the surgeon picked up my kidney and he says, hey, check it out. And I looked and I said, it was just as clear, looked like a jellyfish, clear. And what is it? He said, this is your kidney. And he held it up in the air, and I, there's no color. It was, and but he said, oh, don't worry. It'll come when we connected. So interesting. That's what this looked like. This was, someone posted this on the social media platform X, and I thought it was pretty neat. So a lot of smart people are working probably late nights, burning the midnight oil. Um, so, anyways, all right. Until next time, over and out.